It's race week. Since I got my bike finally dialed for Unbound this year, let's run over my whole setup. This is a Litespeed Toscano. It is titanium. It's currently the lightest titanium gravel bike in production. My complete build here, it's about 21 pounds even. That's with cages, with pedals, with my Garmin also. The one item that everyone stresses about when it comes to Unbound, tires. I just got these mounted up. These are Schwalbe G1R Pro tires. They are 50 millimeters wide. These are essentially between the G1 RS, sort of semi-slick tire I was running at my races earlier in the year, and the G1 RX, which is the tire I ran last year. I decided to kind of split the difference between the two this year. I've done Unbound 4 times now. I have had punctures in 3 of those 4 Unbounds, and every single time the puncture happens in the casing, you know, where there's no knobs. And this tire, this model, it has the most knobs of all the G1 tires. So my bro science theory is that it will be the least likely to puncture on the flint rock out there. We'll see how that works out on race day. Otherwise, in terms of setup, you know, I'm running 28 PSI in the front, 30 PSI in the rear. For sealant, I'm running the Silca Ultimate Tubeless Sealant. It's really sticky, clogs up your valves all the time, but I think it's worth it just for the extra bit of protection. The tires are mounted on a set of Industry 9 ultralight 250 carbon wheels. They are like a 1,300 gram carbon wheel set. They're not very aero. I don't think that's gonna matter much for me because my goal on race day is gonna be to hide and suck wheel all day. Maybe having a lighter wheel set is gonna help me when the group starts surging away from me and all the hills out there. The most distinctive feature obviously is my gravel suspension fork. I'm running the Cane Creek Invert SL. I've been using some form of gravel suspension for the last 2.5 years. I'm a big fan, and just having a little extra comfort, especially for a race as long and rough as Unbound, I think does make a little bit of a difference. It's not really necessary everywhere or for every race, but when I need it, I'm really glad I have it. It's the SL version, so it has no lockout. You know, I actually never really think I need the lockout. I never really noticed it. It is the lightest, like, true air fork of all the options on the market right now, which is why I chose it. I think I've got 6,500 miles on this fork, and I haven't serviced it, which I know is bad, and it still feels really good. This is the NV SES AR handlebar. I'm running a 40 mil bar, got a 100 millimeter stem, and then we have our SRAM red axis shifters. I've been a big fan of these ever since they came out with the one finger braking from the hoods. They're super nice. What I really like is the bonus buttons here, because I'm riding in the aero pause a lot. Being able to shift with these little bonus buttons on the top is really nice. Force level, I think, has them too. Let's talk about this. This is my top tube bag. It's almost there. It's tall, skinny, Velcro's on because I forgot to add top tube bag mount bolts to this frame when I ordered it. With my Thunder thighs, it doesn't rub. And inside, it's tall enough to hold my iPhone. I also have a little Genuine Innovations tire plug, the little screwdriver style one. These are actually getting hard to find ever since they went out of business, and I think Alexei Vermeulen just bought out every last one in existence. So hanging on to this, trying not to lose it. Otherwise, the only other thing I really carry in this top tube bag is one of the most important things for any Unbound race for me, and that is a bag of Doritos. When you're slamming gels all day, I like to mix things up with a little bit of salty and savory just to reset the palate. For me, it's Cool Ranch Doritos is my go-to, and I usually just keep a Ziploc bag full of those in here. Maybe a few extra gels if I don't want to carry more in my pocket. This is a Specialized Power Pro mirror saddle, the 3D printed one with tie rails. Saddle bag here. This is a wolf tooth saddle bag. I started using this because in 2023, the mud apocalypse year, I got so much mud on my saddlebag that the zipper wouldn't open and I couldn't get all my stuff out. And then when I finally forced it open, I couldn't get it zipped back up. So I've switched to a roll top style bag. I can pack it down really small if I want to. Inside, I've got multi-tool. This is a pretty basic multi-tool. The important thing is It has a chain breaker. I also have a quick link taped to my brake hose up here just in case. I have broken a chain before, and having a chain breaker and a quick link has saved my butt. I've got another plug kit. This is the Genuine Innovations plug kit again. It's got a preloaded plug there. Also in here we have a small tire lever. We have a TPU tube. I'm probably just gonna carry one and then have extra tubes in my drop bags at the checkpoints. We have a 20 gram CO2 cartridge with a Silka CO2 inflator. I'm probably gonna stick another 20 gram CO2 cartridge in this bag for race day. Then as we move down, we've got the titanium king cages. I'm a big fan of because you can kind of, well, any sort of like tubular metal cage, you can bend it to get a tighter grip on your bottle. And one of the things I hate the most is ejecting a bottle. Never lost a bottle from one of these. I'm able to fit these Elite 950 ml bottles, so pretty much I can carry about 2 liters in the frame. On the other side here, we have, this is my Silka Tactico hand pump. So just in case I burn both my CO2s, I do have another way to inflate my tires. It has a hose that pops out so you don't mess up your valve when you're pumping up. It's just really nice to use. I also have a little roll of electrical tape wrapped around the body of the pump there just in case. This is really interesting. This is a little new 3D printed hoot and hauler made by Wheels Manufacturing. This right here is a mud scraper. So if you're freaking out about mud like I am, you know, having a mud scraper on your bike, super handy. I actually think Wheels Manufacturing is gonna be handing these out in the swag bags when you pick up your packet at Unbound. So if you're racing, you're probably gonna get one, but it's pretty cool. You can 3D print other accessories to mount on this little holder. That's a little future project I can work on. For the drivetrain, we're running SRAM Red Axis Explore. The full mount derailleur has been super tough. I've crashed on the drive side maybe 3 times in the last year. It's still shifting great. I've got a 42 tooth chain ring on a Quark power meter. I'm not a pro, I'm a normie. So I'm pushing a 42 tooth. Don't really spin out at Unbound. I didn't last year. I don't think I did on 2024 either. I've got 170 mil crank arms with Crank Brothers Candy 7 pedals. My chain, I'm using the Silka Super Secret Hot Wax. I just tossed an endurance chip in my little crock pot too. You know, overall my setup, it's not really that crazy. It's simple, it's reliable, stick with what I know works, and that works for me. You know, it's a nice bike. Obviously, I'm fully aware it's a very nice bike, but this is a bike that I think it's gonna survive another 3, 4, 5, 10 Unbounds maybe. If I keep it that long, it's just gonna keep on chugging. Let's like head back to the garage and check out all the gear I'm bringing. I'm just starting to pack up everything for the drive tomorrow morning. So the last like 4 times I've gone to Unbound, I feel like I've seriously overpacked, and every year I've gotten a little bit better at bringing less and less and sort of distilling it down to the essentials. So this is what I'm taking now. I'll start with my little toolkit here. Everything essentially fits in this small plastic bin here. I have it all laid out though, so you can see everything. In here, we've got the crock pot, but I am bringing this small tube of the super secret drip wax just in case, a set of hex wrenches, a set of Torx wrenches. I've got wire cutters, scissors, spare valve cores, always very useful. I've got my extra bacon strips, tubeless plugs. So this is my Feedback Sports torque wrench. This I actually love. This is probably my favorite tool in my whole kit. It's like such a nice, simple, easy to use torque wrench. Got odds, evens. This thing is rad. I love this thing. I've also got my Axis battery charger. I've got a spare tube. I've got a box cutter. This is a shock pump. This is only really useful if you have a suspension fork like we do on our bikes. Basically, because we're going down from elevation down to whatever elevation Emporia is at, I am gonna check the air pressure in our forks when we get there. I've got another spare tube, a Sharpie, it's always useful, a couple tire levers, the lubes. Then we've got Spare quick links for both of our chains. I'm definitely gonna use a brand new quick link when I wax the chains the night before the race. Quick link pliers. These are just spokes that I bent into this shape. This is what I use to like dip my chains in the wax. I honestly prefer this to the like cable thing that comes with it. I've got a box of CO2s. I've got a sealant injector and another bottle of Silka Ultimate tubeless sealant, just in case, as well as tubeless tape. There have been many times I've had to retape a rim just like the day or two before a race. Then a microfiber towel and a small roll of shop towels. This is the pump I'm gonna bring. This is like a feedback sports, I think they call it the rack, but you can see it's holding my bike up right there. This is really handy if your crew has one of these at a checkpoint to just like stand your bike up. No one has to hold it. You don't have to lean it against anything. You don't have to lay it on the ground. Your bike just stands up like that. Really nice. For me, it's really nice for storing a bike in a hotel room too. And then also, I'm gonna bring this Feedback Sports stand. Next up, we got this second bigger bin here. This is essentially all of the nutrition I'm gonna be bringing for race day. I pretty much only use two types of gels now. I use chrono gels. These are caffeinated gels, and then just a non-caffeinated blueberry gel here. And then Marten. These have 40 grams of carbs. These have 30 each. I basically discovered like a year ago that I have issues with maltodextrin. It makes me super nauseous about 2 or 3 hours into long races or training rides. And then in the worst case scenario, I have to make sort of a undesirable pit stop, if you know what I mean. I tested a ton of gels that don't use maltodextrin as a main ingredient. And these two are the two that have the flavor I like the best. They also seem to work the best with my gut. I also use Tailwind. On race day, I'm only gonna have it in my hydration pack. It is a Usui Outlander Pro. It carries 2 liters. I'm gonna do about 8 scoops in my 2-liter bladder, and I'm gonna do that at the 100-mile checkpoint and the 160-mile checkpoint. In my bottles, I just do plain water. It's always nice to have some plain water to like just clean your palate a little bit. It's also nice to like spray on your face. If it gets super hot, I'm definitely gonna want some water to pour over myself. I will have a few spare bottles. You know, I said I don't really eject bottles, but I do wanna have spares in my drop bags just in case. These are my drop bags. They're just lifetime totes. I'm gonna have gels in the big Ziplocs. I think I'm gonna have 6 Marten 160s, 4 Chrono non-caffeinated and 4 Chrono caffeinated in each one of these Ziplocs, so I can load up with, what is that, 14 gels at each stop. I will also have, like I mentioned earlier, Cool Ranch Doritos. And then there's one more thing. Let's see, they're probably in this bag somewhere. My secret weapon. Oh yeah. Red Bulls. I really enjoy taking a Red Bull late in a race. It's like rocket fuel, and since I'm pushing the limits this year, got 2. One for mile 100, one for mile 160. Do what you want. Coke, coffee, caffeinated gels, or no caffeine if you're crazy like that. For me, I really enjoy Red Bull. I don't drink it any other time. I only do it during races and occasionally during a really big training ride. There's a few other useful things. We've got some electrolyte tablets. These are basically for me to pre-hydrate a bit in the 2 days before the race. I'm gonna try and finish off this whole sleeve. And then we got some clear lenses, and we've got a light. So this is gonna go in my drop bag for checkpoint 3 at mile 160. If I need these, then something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. I'm using a crew for hire, 3 feet cycling. So that's why I have to have these drop bags prepared. I'm gonna drop them off at the expo the day before the race. They're gonna have a crew at each checkpoint with my bag ready, and they have mechanics. So if I have a mechanical, they can help me out. I am gonna have spare tires in my drop bag too. So that is everything I am bringing to Unbound this year. It's actually, when I look at it laid out here, it's really not that much stuff. I am gonna have a few skinnier tire options if the mud looks seriously bad. Hopefully I'm not gonna need it. You know, I think my bike has enough clearance with the 50 mil tires. But if I do need a compressor to make a tire change, the Obed guys are gonna bring a compressor to the Obed booth. We also have our pro mechanic, Michael McNair, who is an absolute legend. If you need help, definitely stop by the Obed booth and the Litespeed booth. We also are gonna have free copies of Spoken Terrain magazine. I've mentioned this before. We're launching this magazine at Unbound. I'm the editor and I'm super proud of it. It's got amazing stories in it. You can download a digital version too for free. I think this is gonna be the last little video I make before race day because I'm gonna get to Emporia. I'm gonna get set up. I'm gonna be in the booth a little bit. I'm gonna be out doing work, taking photos of all of our bikes. For those of you who've been following along, thanks. It's been a lot of fun. I think when I see you again, it will be after the race, hopefully with a finisher's medal, hopefully with all of my goals conquered. If you're racing, I hope the same for you. I'll see you in the next one.